gang, Stephen Browning here, Z-Man Fishing. I want to talk to you a little bit about a really neat little finesse way to fish. You know, anytime you're in a situation where the weather, kind of a high pressure sits on, the fish kind of get tight to cover and they're not really, you know, true active fish. A lot of times you can take a finesse style baits and get you, you know, those couple of extra bites. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about the Hula stick. This is just a little 4-inch worm, and as you can see, it's got a little tail on it. And what that tail does when the bait's actually sitting on the bottom, and turn this thing around for you, when it's sitting on the bottom, that tail actually flares. So it doesn't, you don't have to put a lot of action into this, into the Hula stick. It's one of those simple, throw it out there, let it hit the bottom, shake it a few times, move it, and then let it sit. I don't really suggest taking the bait and moving it and working it all the way back to the boat. And just a couple of, you know, quick little shakes, let it sit. Quick little shake, let it sit. Do that 2 or 3 times, reel it in and fire it back out. A lot of times you're going to get that bite when you pull that bait and it starts sinking back down. I've got the little a weedless shroom's head, and as you can see, I'll put it up against my hand. It is a very, very thin hook, little light wire hook. So you want to be real careful with your rod selection and your line selection and really how much pressure you put on there. Let me show you how to rig it up right quick, and we'll get into the line and rod. Simply just put the head up next to your Hula stick, and then take your thumb and your forefinger and just run it down to that particular point. Let it go around the bend of the hook. Then you want to take it and you want to really push it. Push it with your hand and it'll come back in place. And just try to get it as vertical as you can. And that right there will sure enough get them. And then, like I said, we've got the little weed guard on the shroom's heads now, and it really helps out. A little bit about the line. I use a 10-pound 100% fluorocarbon leader. If you're not using a 100% fluorocarbon leader, I use like an 8-pound fluorocarbon line. That's that diameter's super thin. I use a double uni knot to connect it with, and I take it when I'm connecting it. I tie about anywhere from about a 6 to 7 foot leader. That'll give you plenty to work with. If you get hung up, you have to break off, then you still have plenty of leader to work with. On the rod, I use a 7-foot medium moderate. It's a medium power, but a moderate action. And what that tells you is that you're going to have a lot of bend down in this area. And the reason I use this rod for this little Hula stick setup is because with braided line, you need a rod that's going to absorb a lot of that energy when that fish makes a move. You want that, let that rod fight it. If you have too stiff of a rod, what's going to end up happening, this little light wire hook's going to spring open, you may lose your fish. This is a little 2000 series Lew's Speed Spool Tournament Pro reel. Takes up about 31 inches of line per turn, so it's not putting a lot of pressure on that line when you're reeling it in. Your rod's going to do a lot of your fighting for you. The one thing that I can tell you anytime you're using a little finesse rig like this is really take your time. Try not to horse those fish. Take your trolling motor, run them out in the middle of the lake. If you're around some heavy cover, get them away from that heavy cover with your rod and your trolling motor. Then once you get them out, just fight them until they wear out. Take this little Hula stick, little mushroom's head, I guarantee you'll get you a few extra bites.